Welcome back to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is all about pitching. And what I'm going to give you is 3 different release patterns with your wrists to affect the club face, to affect how the ball will react on the green. So we're going to look at what I would call the stop shot, the walk shot, and the run shot. And again, credit has to go to one of my lessons, Clive, who named it this. It's stuff we've talked about in the past with him, release pattern. He said, oh, okay, the walk, stop, and run. And I really like the concept, the names, so that's what I'm going to bring to you today. So quite simply, when we hit a pitch shot, for a standard pitch shot, I'd call it like a stop finish. I want the club face to be pointing almost back towards my face here. So we call this a kind of reverse roll effect, a kind of scoop effect. That would be the stop finish. Now when we go to the walk finish, we're going to get the club face released into what I might say kind of a halfway house. So we have the stop finish, the run finish, and the halfway house. So if you imagine this is kind of just past 90 degrees, and I'll hold it out here so we can see it a bit more, a bit past 90 degrees, that's the run shot. The walk shot would be more like, let's say if that was 90 and this is 0, 45, and this will be 0 degrees-ish. Now obviously we might well have say 10, 12 degrees and so on, doesn't really matter. The idea is if we look at our right wrist, palm to the sky for the stop, shaking hands for the walk, palm down for the run. Quite simply like that, and that's what we're looking for. 3 different wrist positions to give us 3 different reactions to the ball. Now, the caveat to all this is obviously the ball's not necessarily going to stop unless we're using the right balls, the right grass, the right greens, and so on. So these are range balls, so these aren't going to stop as quickly as golf balls. So bear that in mind when we look at the results. But all I'm going to try and focus on is from the same setup, these different finish positions, and we should see the trajectory change and the reaction on the ball change. You're definitely going to run more with the second 2 options than the first options. Whether the stop one stops that quickly depends on all those things, the contact, the friction, the ground, everything that goes along with that. So setup wise, I'm looking for a very simple stance. I'm looking for a back to basic stance, narrow stance, 2 club widths apart, all in the center, and the weight favoring the lead foot about 60%. And then it's kind of my underarm throw, right arm underneath my pec, and again the club face pointing back towards me. Let's just try that one. Club face pointing back towards me, and we see there the ball there trying to grab up and trying to have some stop to it. Nipped it nice and clean, fraction cleaner than maybe want to in a perfect world, but certainly close to the right kind of contact for that kind of stopping shot. Now the second one, I'm going to try and give it that kind of handshake position, so a little bit more release of the arms and wrists through the ball, but the same setup. So because I released it, I pulled it a little bit more left, but definitely the ball was coming off a little bit kind of hotter, and it was going to run a little bit more when it got to the green. Now the third finish is the big release, the kind of almost like a hook feel, really. So I'm going to aim this one down the right hand side a little bit more. And we'll see now that ball will release now over that hill. And it's running and running and running and running and running. So definitely more release on that last shot. So as you can see there from those different release patterns, it produces different flights on the ball, but more importantly, different reaction to the ball as it lands on the green. So if we're looking for that ball to chase up a green, this kind of over-release version, if you like, that's going to help us do that. If we want it just to do a bit of halfway house, then we're going to look for the handshake position. If we want the ball to stop, definitely the underarm throw and that palm up to the sky feel. So there's 3 different wrist positions will change the club face dynamic loft, which will change the ball flight and change how the ball reacts on the green. Have a go at doing this to vary your ball flight depending on the scenario, but keep the setup the same, keep it nice and simple, and let me know how you get on. If you've enjoyed the video, please click like down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I've got regular content every week on a variety of subjects. Also, please comment down below. Tell me what kind of videos you want to hear from me in the future. And hopefully you'll join me in my journey, and I'll see you again here soon. Thanks for watching.